Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Racha Kadash. Forgive me the spirit and power to make this lesson. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach this truth and well. Robert Thumb unto the elect, beginning with the 144,000 on down to the sincere men, women, and children that do believe. This is the brother Gabar from the Great Millstone Dallas branch, coming at you with another lesson. And it's going to be an article. I'll read the article first. I grab some precepts and I'll just read down on through it. Okay, because basically these rumors of wars, all right, every now and again, okay, it's just another nation, rumored to be about to go to war or is in war. Okay, and this is all prophetic because in the latter days, the rumors will come. All right, and the ultimate war would come. Okay, because ultimately Yahweh Shai is going to return in the midst of WW3, the third woe, Armageddon. Okay, and it is going to be fought in what you call the Middle East. But I just want to grab this, all right, as we see these rumors. This is by End Time Headlines, April 27th, 2025. It says, war between India and Pakistan could erupt at any moment. Okay, so this is the tension that's in the air with the nations. Okay, everybody's at war, economic wars, trade wars, okay, media wars, information wars as they call it. So we living in a time where these rumors will be happening, and this is all prophecy, okay? But it says war between India and Pakistan could erupt at any moment, okay? Now I want to grab some precepts. All right. This is Salakia, Matthew 26 and verse, I think I'm gonna just get straight to 6. Let me see. I'll start at verse 4. Matthew 26 and verse 4. Matthew 24 and verse 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. Right, a lot of people saying that they're the anointed. A lot of people saying, you got certain people saying that they're the chosen one, they're the Messiah. You got people saying that they're the true prophets when they're not, all right, as well. All right, false prophets that rose up. So you cannot be deceived. You have to pinpoint the true teachers, all right, which they will be teaching as Yahushua taught. Okay, pushing the names, pushing repentance, okay? All right, pushing prophecy. The spirit of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. So whoever is pushing prophecy tied to with the names and fear of the Lord, those are the true men of the Lord, okay? Whoever's doing it without a bag, without taking a bag, in all sincerity, okay? Now verse 6, it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. All right, see, this is another rumor of war. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right, the ultimate war is going to come. All right, and this gospel has to be preached through the four corners of earth so that the elect can have the spiritual tawah, that mark on the right-hand side, all right, sealed in their forehead, the names of the Heavenly Father and His Son in the elect foreheads, as the scriptures say. Okay, and then the end's gonna come. Then the angels are gonna release those four winds. Okay. Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And we're seeing a lot of earthquakes, man. It was just an earthquake recently. I believe it might have been in California, maybe 2 weeks ago. Salakia, I can't remember exactly, but yeah, we definitely see earthquakes and pestilences, all right, and famines, all right, in these diverse places over the years. These earthquakes, all right, and different pestilences, and famine, and ultimately famine is coming, and famine of the word is coming. Okay, now verse 8, it says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Okay. And I'm going to stop there, although it does read down, all right, and it is edifying. I'm going to stop there, okay? And I want to read some of this article, and then I want to jump back into some more precepts. Okay, it says, going back to the article, it says, opinion, India and Pakistan both have nuclear weapons, and now they are on the verge of war. Right now, these nuclear weapons, matter of fact, I'll grab a quick precept. These nuclear weapons the Lord is given to the heathens for what? For the sake of prophecy. We can grab Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, right? The heathen nations. Okay, it says, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. And this is ultimately speaking about the valley of Yehoshaphat, in the Middle East, the judgment making place. But all these nations, these nuclear warheads that they have in their arsenal was given to them to fulfill prophecy, because ultimately they're going to burn Babylon, the great America, with that fire. And there's going to be fire from the chariots come down and descend upon this place as well. You can read about how Yahushua is going to pull up to the valley of Yehoshaphat and get rid of all the heathen there, with that fire as well in 2 chapter 13. Okay. And also speak about in Isaiah how he's going to come back with the ships, the chariots, to render his anger with fury. Okay. So they have a play in this as well. But those nuclear warheads, that's going to be the judgment of this place, man. The fire to descend upon this place. Okay, it says verse 10, Joel 3 and verse 10. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Right. So even these smaller nations have their nuclear arsenal. Okay. As it says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Right. Those farming tools and stuff. All of that peace talk in peace is over. It's the time of war. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 speaks about how you have a time of peace and a time of war. Matter of fact, I'll just grab it right quick. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. You see? So we're in a time of war. We're not in a time of peace. The war drums are beating. These rumors are going out. Okay? I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to continue reading that later. Going back to the article, it says, it is being reported that India is considering a military response to a horrifying Salakia. I read that again. It is being reported that India is considering a military response to a horrifying terror attack that occurred in Kashmir earlier this week. And Pakistani forces are already being mobilized in case that happens, right? So they know what's going on. They're ready. Things are happening. Okay. And yeah, the rumors are out. While these people thinking that they're in good case. That they're in a time of peace, a time of love. They just had Easter and stuff, But here we are where these nations are preparing themselves, as we have war already breaking out. But they're preparing themselves ultimately to fight against each other. And then to fight against the Lord, as prophecy says. How they're going to stop fighting each other and turn the fight against Yahushua, Hamashiach. And then they're going to lose miserably. Okay? And we push this because one is prophecy. And also because this is our deliverance comes at that same time. Okay? Now it says if a full-blown war erupts, it will be a really big deal. 247 million people live in Pakistan and 1.4 billion people live in India, right? The dirty Elamites, all right? Because that's been trending lately, how dirty they are. All these heathens dirty, but them motherfuckers are dirty. Excuse my French. Okay? Anyways, I want to grab some precepts and I end it off. Back in that Joel chapter 3, I'm going to read verse 10 again. It says, beat your plowshares into swords. Right, the missiles that they have now, the military might, and your pruning hooks into spears, right? All right. And I believe like America is like the biggest investor into their own military. All right, let me just type in right now which countries invest most into their military? See if it give me a list. It says the United States, this is the AI overview. The United States consistently leads in military spending, followed by China and then Russia. Right, so the big three. All right, Babylon the Great. All right, the whore. All right, then you got Moab, which is China. Okay, and then you have the bear, Russia, which is Magog. All right, they're in that land. Okay, which the Russians are Edomites. All right, so a house divided against itself isn't going to stand anyway. But yeah, all right, it says in 2023, the U.S. spent $916 billion, while China spent $296 billion, and Russia spent $109 billion, according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, SIPRI. Okay, and I ain't gonna read the rest of it, but yeah. All right, so they're invested into their military might. All right, which America has been at war like 97% of its kingdom, of its rulership. Okay, so yeah. All right, they're not investing into peace and, let's clean the planet up and world hunger and how can people be happy instead of, this and that. No, they don't care about that. They care about military might, the hammer of the earth. Okay. And now in this WW3, it's going to be shown. All right, all of the different weapons and stuff. The Lord's going to have them use them on each other. And then the end all be all is them using it on Babylon the Great. Let me just grab that and I'll jump back. This is Revelation 17:16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, all right, which is those vassal states, okay, that are in league or allied with America, which America's tearing those allies, that relationship apart, via the rulership under Trump. Okay, it says, in the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Right, they already hate her, but the whore keeps money in their pocket. All right, it says, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. That's the judgment for this place. All right, for a witch, you burn her with fire, man. That's what it is. This is a witch, this whore. Okay, so they're gonna burn her with fire, and it's gonna be other nations as well. All the nations gonna have their hand in that, man. All right, leading with Russia. Okay, the bear. But yeah, they're gonna turn on her. All right. It ain't gonna be no WW3 and it's okay, this side America, then that side, and then America wins and all the allies, and then they put all these sanctions and stuff on Russia and this and that, and make them pay for this. It ain't gonna be like that. This war is gonna end with Babylon. All right, everybody's gonna turn their back on Babylon the Great. All right, this whore. All right, as they've drinking this wine and now they're mad. All right, because look at what happens when you get into bed with Babylon the Great. The morals of your country crumble. The morals of your country crumble. Okay, the women are, they want to be men. All right, the men want to be women. Okay, it's just moral decay. So the kingdom is gonna topple. Okay. And on top of that, Babylon the Great doesn't even keep his word. It just transgresses. It just turns against what it said. Okay, we're going to have peace and this and that, and we're not going to move forward into your space or whatever, blah, yada, 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 whatever treaty. And then they always break it. You see? The nation's tired of that shit, man. Okay. Now, jumping back, Joel chapter 3 and verse 11. It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Okay. So the Lord is gathering the heathen nations, all right, for this WW3. This is where this is all going to. All the turmoil in the earth. It ain't no signs of peace. Oh, it's getting better and this has happened and we came to a peace treaty and this and that. No. Okay. This is going down. Verse 12. Let the heathen be awakened. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of, it says Jehoshaphat, which is Yahweh Shaphat. That's the true name of the Lord, Yahweh. And Shaphat meaning judgment. So it's judgment, decision-making place. All right, Yahweh Shaphat. and come up to the valley of Yehoshaphat, for there will I sit and judge all the heathen round about. So this is all for the Lord to judge, all right, for their wickedness, all right. You can read the whole chapter. It's a very good read, Joel chapter 3. All right, you read the first couple of verses speaks about how the Lord is doing this for us, all right, avenging us and what they've done to us, okay. Now, Revelation 13 and 14, it says the second woe is past. Woe meaning destruction, meaning WW2, World War II. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. You see? So the third woe is coming quickly, man. The Lord is stirring things up. Now, I don't know if it's going to say anything on here on the blue letter for quickly. I want to take a look. Okay, it just says quickly, speedily. Okay. Suddenly, without delay. Yeah, so the Lord is and I play this word, it's in the Greek.
Strong's G 5035. Tahu.
Okay, and it says suddenly, which is I'm happy it says that as well, because suddenly means not regarded as likely to happen. That's why the day of the Lord is gonna be like a thief in the night. All right, the Lord's gonna return like a thief in the night. People that wasn't ready, that wasn't looking, it's going to catch them off guard. While the elect, they were steady, focusing on the relationship with Yahweh Shema Shai. So, yeah, I just wanted to go into that. And even even going into this other article on End Time Headlines, it said Russia agrees to fund construction of nuclear plant in Iran. This came out April 27, 2025, End Time Headlines. Okay, I read a little bit of this as well. It says Russia and Iran, and Iran is backed by Russia, and Israel is backed by America. That's how this is gonna go down. The least of the flock shall draw them out. Israel is gonna draw Babylon the Great to war. It says Russia and Iran formalize a significant agreement and expand Iran's nuclear capabilities. A move that has drawn international attention amid ongoing U.S.-Iran diplomatic engagements. According to the Jerusalem Post, Russia will fund the construction of a new nuclear plant in Iran and supply 55 billion cubic meters of gas annually to the country. This deal marks a deepening of energy and nuclear cooperation between Moscow and Tehran, raising concerns about its implications for regional stability and global non-proliferation efforts. Okay. Yeah, that's basically it on that. I read this part. It says this collaboration aligns with both nations' interests in countering Western influence. So Iran and Russia is both in league with countering Western influence, which is Babylon, America. All right. It says this collaboration aligns with both nations' interests in countering Western influence, particularly and as U.S.-Iran talks on nuclear issues continue. You see? So they know what they're doing with this. Okay, they know what they're doing. But yeah, I just want to bring that out. Let me see if there's anything else I want to bring out on here. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, that's basically it, man. Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Shema Shai for giving me the spirit and power to make this lesson. So next time, Kamar Shalom.